This is Behind the Magic. With Boris Lee-Djinn. And Sarah Angel.
Welcome back to Behind the Magic. I'm Boris Lee-Djinn. It's not every day we get a chance to interview one of the greatest wizards of all time. Our correspondent, Sarah Angel, has this exclusive interview with Teferi.
Teacher, student, traveler, father, time mage, planeswalker. From attending classes at the Tolarian Academy to saving the multiverse as a member of the Gatewatch, Teferi has led a long and fascinating life, one that stretched over 1,200 years. What makes Teferi Teferi? Let's find out. This is Behind the Magic.
You're really doing a whole thing about me. I mean, I'm flattered. Oh, it started? I am Teferi, the greatest mage of all time. Just kidding. I mean, no, I am Teferi. I'm just not that Teferi anymore, if you catch my meaning.
You've mellowed out with age.
Exactly. I learned a smidge of humility in my 1,200 years.
1,200 years can change a person.
Exactly.
We do want to talk about something that happened a long time ago when you were a little more, say, overly confident.
Let's see where this is going. Well, which one is it?
The Phyrexian invasion.
The invasion. Not my proudest moment, but I'd rather you hear it from me than someone else.
Tell us, what happened?
Well, we all knew it was coming, and Urza and Baron had been preparing for it for a very long time, and I was privy to some of their plans.
You kept in touch after the academy.
Of course, I was very close to both of them. Did you talk to her?
We talked to Baron.
That old coot. I still haven't lived as long as he did, and I'm ancient. I'm sure he had nothing but nice things to say about me.
Oh, a beacon of positivity.
When the invasion began, I was assembling Jalfir's defenses with my former classmate Joyra. Then Urza arrived, demanding I aid him in his plan to save Dominaria at any cost. That cost had already destroyed Benalia. I was not going to let him sacrifice Jalfir.
What happened?
Well, the Phyrexians were closing in on my homeland, and Urza had plans elsewhere that needed Phyrexia distracted. And Jalfir was the bait. So I did what I felt I had to, and phased Jalfir out of existence. The entire nation. I could not allow my people to fight and die at Yawgmoth's hands. Metaphorically speaking, I don't think Yawgmoth had hands. More like smoky black tendrils. Then I went over to Shiv and I did the same thing. Phased it out of existence. To protect them.
To protect Joyra's homeland.
It was many people's homeland.
So, what happened next?
Well, and this is one of the greatest regrets of my life. I left. It took all of my power to phase both nations, and I had nothing left to use against the Phyrexians, so I left. If I was the man I am today, I would have stayed and fought no matter what, but I wasn't. So I didn't.
One could argue that this lingering regret is part of what makes you the man you are today.
If one were feeling generous, sure. No. No, you're absolutely right. It drives a lot of my decisions these days. But I'm sure you're wondering how I brought Jalfir and Shiv back, right?
Well,
Here's comes the other great regret. Turns out, phasing entire nations out of existence using time magic isn't very healthy for the nature of reality itself. I was so concerned about Urza's arrogance that I hadn't considered my own. Ironic, right? Time rifts started opening up all over Dominaria, and I had to sacrifice my spark to bring Shiv back and seal the rifts.
and Jalfir.
Jalfir it's still out there somewhere. Its people, my people are still out there somewhere. Someday Jalfir shall be restored by my hand.
So you lost your spark. You're no longer a planeswalker. What did you do?
I hate to say it, but I hid. I was accused of wiping out an entire country, and for all intents and purposes, that was the truth. I couldn't hold myself up as a public figure, even if I wanted to. My powers were a fragment of what they had been, but centuries of time magic ensured that I would age extremely slowly. I wandered Jamura, a castaway on the seas of time.
How did you find purpose again?
Like so many others before me, I found solid ground in the arms of a loved one. In my travels, I met a woman named Subira. She was a caravan leader, head of the oldest caravan in Jamura. It's existed in some form since before even I was born. Subira's wit was as sharp as Talvum crystal and twice as lethal if she chose to turn it on you. Although when I met her, she did think I was a murderer. But when I convinced her I didn't casually kill people, we got along great.
And what came next?
I decided to travel with the caravan for a week. A week became a month. And that was the happiest month of my entire life. We were wed soon after that and had many simple, happy years. We had an incredible daughter, Nyambe, who reminds me so much of her mother, but I miss her terribly. You know, I think this is a good time to take a break.
I agree. Thank you for sharing so much with us. Teferi, the all-powerful planeswalker. Teferi, the family man. These two identities are so disparate, it can be hard to see how they belong to the same person.
Thank you, Sarah. That was an incredible interview with Teferi, the...